In the previous sessions, we have discussed the chemistry of few biomolecules like amino acids, lipids, nucleic acids. We have finished regarding the chemistry of these three. And now today we have to learn regarding the chemistry of carbohydrates. So let's start with the chemistry of carbohydrates. Clear? They are the carbohydrates. Okay? Carbohydrates are commonly called as sugar. What they are called? They are called as sugar. In the simple language, you can call it as sugar. Okay? Or in other term, you can say that they are the hydrates of carbon. What they are? They are the hydrates of carbon. So the general formula of this carbohydrate is general formula of carbohydrate is CnH2O(M). Hydrates of carbon. Hydrates of carbon. I again write over here M. Okay. So they are the hydrates of carbon. What we call it as carbohydrate. It is not necessary that always it is hydrates of carbon. We also have a few exceptions, but we don't go in that detail because you are learning a very preliminary regarding the carbohydrates. So these are the hydrates of carbon, where the value of N and M may be same or it may not be same. We have both cases where we can find the value of same N and M, or we also have a cases where the value of N and M are not same. So what is a carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are one of the important biomolecule you can find in a living organism, and its general formula is CnH2O(M), where the value of N and M may or may not be the same. Okay. Now these carbohydrates can be divided into three types. Okay, so I am here dividing the types of carbohydrates based on the number of carbon atoms or based on the units. Okay, more specifically you can say based on the number of units. Okay, these carbohydrates are mainly classified into three types. So these are the three types of carbohydrates. The first one is called as monosaccharide. Second one it's called as disaccharide. And the third one is called as polysaccharide. Clear? These are the three types of carbohydrates: monosaccharide, disaccharide, polysaccharide. Saccharide means sugar. Saccharide means sugar. So here monosaccharide means they contain how many molecules of sugar? One. Mono means one. So they have just a one unit of sugar. Disaccharide. So here they have how many molecules of sugar or how many units of sugar? There are 2 units of sugar. What we call it as disaccharide. And the polysaccharide, poly means many. They have many units of sugar. What we call it as polysaccharides. So these are the three types of carbohydrates based on the number of units: monosaccharide, disaccharide, polysaccharide. Now let's discuss the characteristic of each one. Starting with the first one, monosaccharide. The general formula of monosaccharide is CnH2O(M). Okay, where the value of N and M is always same. Value of N and M is same. So you can also write down like this: CnH2O(N), because M is equal to N. Okay, in the case of monosaccharide. In case of disaccharide, the general formula of this disaccharide is C12, or you can say that CnH2O(N-1). Okay, so this is a general formula of disaccharide, CnH2O(N-1). Okay, where N is the number of carbon. Next, polysaccharide. What is the general formula of polysaccharide? The general formula of polysaccharide is C6H10O5N. Okay, so these are the number of, you can say that the number of units. So C6H10O5N, because the polysaccharide contains many units. Okay, so monosaccharide, the general formula is CnH2O(M), where the value of N and M is same. Disaccharide CnH2O N-1, polysaccharide C6H10O5N. Okay, I will give you a few examples of monosaccharide. Which are the few examples, the important examples? You can say that. First is PGAL, phosphoglyceraldehyde. Phosphoglyceraldehyde. This is a monosaccharide. Second is DHAP. Okay, even we have also discussed ribose. Okay, ribulose. Next, glucose, fructose, galactose. These are the few examples of monosaccharide. Phosphoglyceraldehyde, dihydroxyacetone phosphate DHAP, ribose, ribulose, glucose, fructose, galactose. Okay. So here I will tell you how many number of carbon atoms are present in PGAL and DHAP. The number of carbon atom are 3. So they can also be called as triose. In ribose and ribulose, the number of carbon atom are 5. So they can also be called as pentose sugar, as we have already discussed in nucleic acid. Glucose, fructose and galactose, they have a number of carbon atom 6. So they are called as hexose. Okay. So this is regarding a monosaccharide. Now regarding a disaccharide, which are the examples of a disaccharide? You have to remember, these are the 3 examples. First is maltose, lactose, sucrose. 3 examples: maltose, lactose and sucrose. These are the 3 examples of disaccharides. Okay, disaccharide means it consists of 2 units. So maltose is also made up of 2 sugar. Which 2 sugar? 2 molecules of glucose. So maltose is made up of, I am writing over here. So maltose, remember this is very important. Maltose is made up of 2 sugar. Which 2 sugar? Glucose plus glucose. Similarly, lactose. Lactose is also made up of 2 sugar because it's a disaccharide. And which are they? Glucose plus galactose. Clear? And similarly, sucrose. Sucrose is also a disaccharide, so it's also made up of 2 units. First is glucose, and the second one you can call it as fructose. Okay, so you have to remember, maltose are made up of glucose and glucose. Lactose is made up of glucose and galactose. Sucrose is made up of glucose and fructose. So these are the 3 units which are present. These are the 2 units which are present in disaccharides. Okay, maltose, lactose and sucrose. Now regarding the examples of polysaccharide. The polysaccharide, the name itself suggests that they have many units. So which are the examples? The examples are starch, glycogen. Okay, starch and the glycogen, they are the examples of polysaccharides. Okay, so these are monosaccharide, disaccharide and polysaccharide. This is a general formula of the respective part, and these are the examples of mono, di and the polysaccharides. Okay. Now if you talk about regarding the characteristic of mono, di and polysaccharide. So what are the characteristics? See, monosaccharides are sweet in taste. Disaccharide is also sweet in taste. Okay, but polysaccharide are not sweet in taste. They are the sugar, but that doesn't mean that all are sweet in taste. Mono and disaccharide, they are sweet in taste, but the polysaccharide is not sweet in taste. Monosaccharide is soluble in water. Disaccharide is also soluble in water, but polysaccharide is not soluble in water. In short, monosaccharide is sweet in taste, soluble in water. Disaccharide is sweet in taste, soluble in water, but polysaccharide is not sweet in taste, not soluble in water. Clear? So this is regarding its physical properties. Now the other properties of this carbohydrates. When you talk about the other properties, so what is the other property of monosaccharide? Monosaccharide can cross plasma membrane. It can pass through the plasma membrane either by active transport or passive transport. Okay, we have learned the 2 types of transport processes. during a learning of cell membrane. So here the monosaccharide can cross a plasma membrane. Okay, disaccharide, they cannot cross a plasma membrane because here there are 2 units of monosaccharide. So the size of molecule becomes a larger, and as the size becomes a larger, they cannot cross a plasma membrane. And the polysaccharide even much bigger, so that's why it cannot cross a plasma membrane. So in short, monosaccharide can cross plasma membrane, disaccharide cannot cross plasma membrane, and even polysaccharide cannot cross a plasma membrane. Next, monosaccharide cannot further hydrolyze, break down. Okay, hydrolyze means a breakdown. Here monosaccharide means 1 unit. So it is the simplest sugar which cannot be broken down because it contains just a 1 unit. 1 unit break ना था, बराबर है, half એવું ना था. Okay, either 1 or 0. बराबर है. So it cannot be hydrolyzed or it cannot be broken down. But here disaccharide can be hydrolyzed because in disaccharide how many units? 2 units. So it can break and these 2 units gets separated. Okay, and the polysaccharide can also hydrolyze. So in short, disaccharide and polysaccharide can hydrolyze, but the monosaccharide cannot. Okay, disaccharide and polysaccharide, they cannot cross plasma membrane, but monosaccharide can cross because it is a smaller in size. Clear? So this is regarding the characteristic of mono, di and polysaccharide. Okay, so this is regarding the chemistry of carbohydrates. It's regarding the chemistry of carbohydrates. Okay. Now we also have to, so we have learned the chemistry of these 4 molecules: amino acids, a component of protein, lipids, nucleic acids, and today we have discussed regarding the chemistry of carbohydrates. We also have to discuss the few other things, like here I am going ahead before starting the other type of molecules. I also discuss the other type of terms which are necessary to understanding the biomolecules. Okay. So here all of you know that we are learning the biomolecules, means the molecules you can find in the living organism. Okay. And the general molecule are carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, vitamins, enzymes, hormones, water, mineral. These are the molecules you can find in it. Okay. But if you talk about the chemicals that find, or the molecules that find in the living organism, including animals and the plants, these are not the only this much molecules that exist in the plant and the animal. That means that we are just discussing a limited number of molecules that are present in a living organism. But that doesn't mean that the other molecules cannot exist or do not exist in the living organism. So that's why these chemicals, they play an important role in chemical reactions which happens in our body. What we call it as biochemical reactions. Okay, and hence they are involved in a biochemical reactions. They are also called as metabolites. Okay, what they are called as? They are called as metabolites. Even in a certain reactions, like the reaction is 6-7 step long. From X it forms Y, from Y it forms Z, from Z it forms A, from A it forms B, like for an example. So here the X is converted to a B ultimately, but during the conversion of X to a B, certain other chemicals are also produced in intermediate, like Y, Z, A. These are the intermediate chemicals are produced. What we are calling them? We are calling them as metabolites. So the other molecules that already also exist in a living organism, we call it as metabolites. So these metabolites or the chemicals, or we are calling it as biomolecules. They are classified into 2 types. Metabolites are of 2 types. First type of metabolite are, it's called as primary metabolites. What we are calling it as primary metabolites. Next, it's called as secondary metabolites. The other type are called as secondary metabolites. Okay, so what are called as the primary metabolites? The primary metabolites, they are important or they have an important role in physiological functions. What we are discussing, they have a primary roles, like what we are discussing: carbohydrates, proteins, nucleic acids. What we are discussing, these are the primary. Lipids, enzymes, hormones, vitamins, they are the primary. They are essentially required for the biochemical reactions to happen. So that's why we are calling them as primary metabolites. Okay. Second, the other type of compounds that you can find in a living organisms, they are called as secondary metabolites. Like, what are the other type of compound you can find? You can find alkaloids. You can also find terpenoids. You can also find flavonoids. Okay, you can also find gum, rubber. You can also find the sands, the toxic material or toxic molecules. These all are the secondary metabolites. Okay, so they are considered as secondary metabolites. Okay, these secondary metabolites, they are also produced by a living organism. But yes, the function of this secondary metabolite is still unknown to us. Okay, so what are the primary metabolites? Primary metabolites, these are the primary metabolites: carbohydrates, proteins, nucleic acids and lipids. Which are the secondary metabolites? The other metabolites, okay, which are produced in few living organisms, okay, in a variety of quantities, like alkaloid, terpenoids, flavonoids, gum, rubber, sand, toxic molecule. Even I can also add one more, that's resins. Okay, these are the secondary metabolites. Okay, so these are the primary and the secondary metabolites. Primary metabolites, they have an important role in physiological function. The secondary metabolite, the function is still not known to us. Okay, that is an unknown function they have. Okay, so these are the primary and the secondary metabolites. Okay, no doubt it is less important from examination point of view, but you should know it because it is a part of syllabus. Okay, next thing what you have to learn, this is important. We have learned the variety of molecules, biomolecules, that you can find in a living organism. But the molecules what we are discussing are not of same size. They are of different in sizes. And based on this size, these molecules can also be categorized as two types based on the size. First is called as micromolecules and the second one is called as macromolecules. Clear? There are two types, micromolecules and macromolecules. What are called as micro? Micro means small. Okay, so they have in general you can say that they have a small in size. Macro means large, comparatively large. So comparatively they are larger in size. So those which are smaller, we are calling it as micromolecules, and those molecules which are comparatively larger, they are called as macromolecules. But small means how much small? Clear? That has to be defined. So those molecules which have a molecular weight less than 1000 Dalton. Okay, those molecules which have a molecular weight less than 1000 Dalton, they are called micromolecules. Okay, or you can also call it as they are found in a living organism, you can also call it as biomicromolecule. Okay, macromolecules, this means they are the compounds which have more than molecular weight 1000 Dalton. Clear? Those they have a less than 1000 Dalton, they are called as a micromolecule. Those who are more than 1000 Dalton, they are called as macromolecules. They can also be called as what? They can also be called as biomacromolecule. Okay, so this is regarding the biomolecules, micro and the macro. You recall what we have learned in the first session. In the first session, we have learned that a method for analyzing the organic compounds in the living organism. How we are analyzing? By adding a trichloroacetic acid, we are analyzing the compounds. And we get a 2 fraction. Once we filter it out, we get a 2 fraction. Acid soluble fraction, what we call it as filtrate, and the acid insoluble fraction, that's called as a retentate. 2 portion, acid soluble, acid insoluble. Acid soluble fraction, we are calling it as filtrate, and acid insoluble fraction, we are calling it as retentate. So those which are found in acid soluble fraction, they are the micro incides, because they are small, so it can be filtered out. Those which are larger one, they cannot be filtered out, so remain above the funnel or above the filter, that's cheesecloth or the cotton cloth, that remains above the filtrate, and they are the part of acid insoluble fraction or retentate. So we have learned, we should also know that what are metabolites, primary and secondary metabolites, and what are called as biomolecules, micro and the macromolecules. Micromolecule of small size, less than 1000 Dalton in size. Macromolecules, they are larger in size, more than 1000 Dalton in size. Okay, this micromolecule or biomicromolecule that you can find in a acid soluble fraction or filtrate. Macromolecules you can find into a retentate or acid insoluble fraction. Clear? So today here just we are ending with the chemistry of carbohydrates, primary and secondary metabolites, and the micro and macromolecules. In the next sessions we will learn the another topic of related with biomolecules. Till then students, keep learning, keep watching, like and subscribe this channel. Thank you for watching.